Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. Oh, throat's croaky. Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. That's right, welcome to the show. Today, I'm just hanging out. Shooting the shit, hanging out with you guys. That's today, Podcast Bros. I'm going to be painting some terrain. Thanks, everyone, for coming to the show. Appreciate you. What is going on? Thanks, Dreadwoods, for resubscribing. Not sure if this is 33 months of subs or 33 months of watching Ron painting terrain. Either way, I'm down for it. Thank you very much. This is the terrain I'm working on today. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Hello, everyone. You guys rock. Thank you today. Dayton isn't here today, so I'm just going to hang out on my own, which is super cool for me. Because I get to catch up with you guys. There was a lot of talking yesterday. My throat's a bit. Tell you what, 2-day coverage. We've got another weekend of coverage coming this weekend from Hammer Time 8. So I'm just building that 2-day energy vibe. That's what we need. We need to get those reps in for being strong to get back to tournaments. That's what we're about. Hello to Owen in the chat. W. Soren, Jog PLC, Gitly, Arky on the 3A, King. I hope you're well. You're painting ogres. I mean, we're all painting Yetis, I think, at this stage. Tristan, big love to you. You're making pancakes. I'm happy about that. Hey, Gitly, I'm also on the train today. Just undercoated my Shrine Luminor. Took ages yesterday to fill the gaps on the train. Bloody loads of them. Is it one of the China plastic ones? No disrespect, but generally the terrain, one and the same, generally the terrain tends to come from China, and I don't find it to be, I find it to be a very tough, rough plastic, actually, and I also find it doesn't fit together particularly well. More on that in the future. I got a Burley and Prime to Squig Boys. Yes, Forksart, also lovely to see you. Oh, Forksart, you're getting into Squigs! Really into your Space Marines. And Smorgan. Ooh, Smorgan. The roadmap man to my heart. Eric Sorbonen, hello. Wargaming Dag, Jog PLC, Get Hooked, Gabberwocky. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. I have to finish some yard work today, says W. Soren. I have about 110 square meters of paving to do for a walkway for my mum. Wow. They make them big in Texas, right? There's no messing about. Hey, Hawkeye, painting terrain, same here. Let's go. I built 30 tables of China plastic for Bobo. It's awful, said Dreadwoods. Yeah, man. So bad. So bad. Currently painting Orkman Squigless, says Eric Sorbonen. Ooh, nice. Big into that. Keijo's building Curse City. I imagine a lot of you are building Curse City or painting Curse City. Oh, wow. Gitley says, no idea where it's from, but there is a gap around the entire circumference of the model. Dreadful. Yeah, I would say that more than likely the Shrine Luminor will be from the China stuff. All the terrain stuff is actually, interestingly, the terrain is designed by a different department to the miniatures. That's not the same team. That's actually Hobby. What are they called? Hobby. I can't remember. The Hobby team, basically. They do paints and everything else. They're also the people that do the Endless Spells, which is why the Endless Spells sometimes look super derpy. And they also look like they clearly weren't done by the miniatures team. So 2 different teams. So terrain and Endless Spells all done that side. And then miniatures different side. Bit of an argument in the company about that at one point. But we'll move on. Get shit done. Terrain and easy to build stuff always sucks to put together, says Scott B. I agree with you, absolutely. I listened to our destruction show from last year, Rob. We both predicted the Yeti meta. Did we? Yes! Yes! I might start writing my predictions down and then crossing them off. This isn't a whiteboard, though. This doesn't work. This is... Look at this. There you go. It's actually the TSN PC. Hidden. Soon to be revealed. TSN is back! That's the plan. Big shout out to Ray Dransfield. Ray Dransfield is actually a super cool dude, so he's the guy that does all the terrain. A really nice fella. And actually, I went in once to have a conversation with him about building competitive terrain. So actually, this is something that's been on my radar for at least 5 years. And it's been really, really exciting to talk about. What did Gabberwocky say? Painting some Saurus from Diachasm, not for the game, just because the Saurus look awesome. They look really nice, man. Nighthaunt Endless Spells look like Happy Meal toys. They look really bad. Like, some of the Endless Spells look really bad if we talk about it. Is it so that they can pay terrain designers less and they're less skilled than take... No, actually, so the hobby supply guys, so they've always done terrain, and obviously they wanted to start doing faction terrain. And then they wanted to do these endless spells, so they pretty much can do what they want. So they were like, we're going to produce this as hobby stuff. So kind of the miniatures guys kind of had to get involved and were like, well, not the miniatures guys, the box and books guys had to get involved. And like, well, you can't just like throw random stuff out. That doesn't work. So they kind of worked together on it a little bit. But I mean, obviously the miniatures guys were pretty unhappy because really you've got guys that were designing terrain and rightfully or wrongfully really nice or whatever you want, but they weren't hired as miniatures designers and they weren't going through the same processes as the miniatures designers. So really they were kind of annoyed. They were like, well, we feel like the general standard is lower, rightly or wrongly again. But that was the point of contestation between them, I think. Colonel Cabbage can't wait to come up to the arena. Me too. Diadrin, what up? Can't wait for the TSN to open. Love to come over and visit for some games. Jing Pen, we will be hosting events. That's on my to-do list. June onwards, expect many an event to be held here at the weekend, which would be nice. Watch Abby, I'm currently printing tons of grave markers for the bases, waiting until the Grave Lords come out. Nice, clever. Get the bases done now. That's really smart. Really, really smart. It's taken me 8 hours to build 9 minis from Cursed City models. Why the fuck do Games Workshop cut models so stupid? Hey. 40k events as well, 100%. There'll be equal amounts 40k and Age of Sigmar. And depending on how much money we make and if we can hire a venue manager, there'll also then be other style events as well, which would be sweet. It would be nice to, let's say, do a Blood Bowl event and then use the commentary booth and all the camera equipment to do some live coverage of Blood Bowl, let's say, or maybe even Warcry. There's a lot involved in that, and it just is beyond one human being like me to do all of that together. So if we can get enough people to buy tickets to events so we can make enough money from events, we can hire a venue manager, which means we can do more things, and that's the kind of plan going forward. I thought Cursed City went together like a dream, says Diadrin. Nice. Sculptors need a union. I agree with that, Leo Crusher. When the new Fellbats of Soul... when the new Fellbats of Vault of Souls is now the worst model Games Workshop do. They're really bad. We could do Titanicus events. That'd be fine. That would be really fine. I heard a really good thing today, actually, that I hadn't thought about before, because I was pretty critical of the Cursed City War Scrolls being all lumped in together in one, 600-point block. But then, again, rightly or wrongly, I heard about, someone said, well, obviously it was done. Oh, just so you guys can see what I'm painting. This is what I'm painting right now, if you guys are interested. So I'm painting up, not Shrek's house, you bastards. So it's a mushroom house, so a mushroom lid goes on top of this. And you can see in there, it's got like a little stovepipe and stuff. And then I've got a little, I don't know what to really call it, there's some little steps, little plinth for him to do like his mushroom magic. So that is the mushroom house I'm painting up right now. Really clever idea, I thought, really, really clever, is that they don't let you buy them individually, if that makes sense. So if you wanted all of the models, or if you wanted any of the models to game with, you have to game with all of the models. I hadn't really cottoned onto that. It's actually quite smart. So if you wanted to use all of them in game, which you don't in Age of Sigmar, that's what I'm talking about. It's not a situation where there's one model inside a box of models that's really, really good and you kind of is a must play. So you end up, even some of the older ones are good, they can be taken individually. But you end up with this kind of box where you're like, cool, it's either all or nothing. And actually, really like that. I thought that was quite cool. This is Nathan's house. This is what we're going to call it. That's what it's designed as. No Games Workshop, they come up with a character called Shruk. They would. Oh, this is Shruk's house. He wants you to get off his womp. Super Mario board, DM, Diadrin. Oh, you guys, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think you guys are talking about making terrain. Fine. Narrative meta. Yeah, well, no, I think that's quite clever. I don't know what you guys think. I thought that was quite smart. I was like, oh, that's actually... that's not... is it good for the customer? I don't know. It just means that you either buy the box and you can use all the stuff, or you don't buy the box and you don't have to worry about it. So, and I mean, I guess it kind of cuts down on eBay scalpers as well. Because, you buy the box and you break it apart. And yeah, there'll be people who buy for it, but you're not going to buy for the rules. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, sell me that one vampire so I can use his rules. Because you can't do that. So, I thought it was quite clever, personally. So yeah, I quite like that. The death stuff, fucks it so good. You like it in the game, Smorgs? I don't know if I like it in the game. I think it's a lot of points, but I think the zombies and skeleton warriors are super good. I'm like, oh baby, I think they're really nice. And you can use them quite effectively. We'll see. We'll see as time goes on. There can't be a house there's not a mushroom in there. There's not a mushroom in there. I'll be stealing that every time I play on this board. Garrisonable by 5 people. Would you consider a non-Games Workshop tourney, Rob? I don't know what you mean by that, K-Dread. Do you mean one not by run Games Workshop, or running an event that isn't a Games Workshop game? Because the answer to the last one would be yes. Or doing coverage of a non-Games Workshop game would also be yes. Because it'd be cool to do like a Song of Ice and Fire here, and then do some competitive coverage of a Song of Ice and Fire. So the whole thing for the TSN Arena is we've built a space where we can put these things on, and the infrastructure and like the video and the sound and the whole thing. So we can host all sorts of events, and then I can just hire other commentators, and they can come in and they can do the work, and then I think that makes everything really interesting, because then we can kind of build up several communities at once, which would be good. Where do the rocks mushrooms come from? So the rocks are from... So the mushroom is a resin file from... My Mini Factory have got a pledge thing. It's like they've got like a Kickstarter. They've made their own Kickstarter basically on My Mini Factory. So that's from their like terrain set. This rock set is from printablescenery.com. And it is like a set of different stuff. You guys can't see it. Oh, if I get really close, you'll see. Oh, there's a fucking camera here. But as you can see, there is actually loads of little mushrooms on this which need to be painted up at some point as well. But I'm just kind of doing base coats at the moment and getting everything sorted. And then I'm going to go really heavy on the mushrooms on here, and then I'm going to just paint it up. So it's really nice. Here's another one, which is like I didn't scale it up. They just have kind of the same design, and it prints really nice. I'm actually really impressed. I know I've based them, but you could very comfortably print stuff like this out for terrain, and I think it would look really fucking cool. There's loads of mushrooms on it. There's loads of detail. You could use it as some basing material for a larger model, I guess, but I think that looks really, really nice. And there's some really big ones as well, so they look good. Bolt action would be cool, says K-Dread. Oh, okay. Interesting. I guess I'll just have to find some people who are motivated and interested in it at the arena, and kind of farm it out. I think farming the venue out to 2 different companies and also people is kind of in the plan. I think that'll work depending on timing. But there's loads of events to fit in. 40k Super Series, 86 Mile Super Series, our own little events here and there. Like, lots to do. So, thanks, looks great. Paint on mushrooms. I love mushrooms, so cute. They are great. I like these big ones are cool. These kind of like mushroom stalks. So I've just made this. I think this is quite like a nice piece. Nice like a little mixture of stuff. And I've tied the base in with the mat. I don't know, guys. Like, I'm trying. It's either going to look good or it's not, but I'm trying. That's all I could really do. Right, so do the boards lie down flatly on the table? In my past issue, training boards curving. Yeah, it lies down flat. Yeah. So all I did was I scored the top of the MDF a bit and bent it. So I kind of semi-broke it, I guess, really. I just broke the spine. So you cut the MDF, you then score it with a scalpel or like a Stanley knife or something. And you just kind of bend it a little bit, because the problem, if you don't, then it will curl up the edges. So yeah, so it's kind of, there we go. We should hold a secret event at Bad Sadesh. Smorgs. We are based in Nottingham, but that's not our plan. Oh dear. Whoa, that's a secret. I didn't expect to make it across the aisle. Yeah, could do that. I don't think that's going to be a plan, though. I think running beginners events is going to be a really interesting sort of take. And that's one of the things I'd like to do generally in Nottingham anyway, is develop like a good cabal of people playing at kind of like a high-ish level, but like getting some new starters in at some lower levels and training them up, getting them up there. I think that'll be a really fun experience for people. Hold a Slanesh only event. Deal. Gits only event is the real thing. So can we talk about something like which, with people building Curse City as we speak? You might be listening to the podcast right now and be like, oh, I'm building Curse City. I am talking to you. Can we talk about how fucking long it takes to build models? Holy goodness me. Like, I hadn't really realised until the other day I built a model, and then I was like, why is this? I saw someone in the chat say, why is this so many fucking pieces? Like, and also, my question to you guys is, would you buy your models pre-assembled? Because, not pre-painted, but pre-assembled. Because, fuck yes, I would. Like, it'd be nice to have the option to kit bash them yourselves, obviously, but I would buy them pre-assembled all day. That would be fine by me. Super okay with me. Just built Curse City today. Took me ages. The Octron Glimscry has some janky-ass joints on his back. Says Ipaca. Sign me up. Shut up and take my money. Alright. No, 2 of my skellies or zombies are the same. And from 2-part minis. I think that's great, says Cauldron. I'm happy with that. Like, I'm not saying don't have the option to build the minis yourself. I'm not saying to take anything away from you. I'm saying give me another option. In the world of consumer optionism, I want to be able to choose something. Like, give me the toys. Hell no, I've seen some companies pre-assemble minis and they were really bad, says Sergeant Rolf. Really? Okay. Pre-assembled. Okay. Building takes ages, but I enjoy it more than painting, says Colonel Cabbage. But then you've got to paint as well. Imagine how much further along the painting road you'd be had you not had to assemble them. Owen, anyone moaning about Curse City should buy a box of Phoenix Guard? Lol. No one. No one on earth should buy... Why, of all the kits from Games Workshop, are Phoenix Guards so good in the game and so terrible to build? So... No chance. I don't think I can trust others to demold line stuff. It's only a bit of OCD I have, says Rabbit Bunny. Okay. Smaller models, 100% built, says Big Dog 6. That's fine. Building is the fun. I think some people think painting's the fun, but, like, okay. All right, fair enough. Interesting. I thought there'd be more kind of like, hell yeah, but it doesn't seem to be. Salt and Sassy says, I find the building the most enjoyable part. I'm beginning to think there is a market. Just to build stuff, 100%. I think there's a market. I think there is a market to just build people's minis all day. I do a trade with someone. I do the building, they do the painting, says Colonel Cabbage. Very interesting. I think you'll find more people like the building than like the painting. That's kind of my general vibe. Many commission painters farm out their building because it's an ass. But building can be very therapeutic sometimes. I find the building therapeutic. I won't lie to you. That's not my point. I'm not saying get rid of it. The only reason I kind of bring it up is obviously I've been 3D printing a bunch of minis, and one of the things you have to do when you take them out the resin printer is you've got to kind of clean them up and you've got to get the supports off, and that can kind of take like, I don't know, like a grand total of like 20 minutes. And I was thinking about it because I was doing a bunch last night after I did the show. I was doing some terrain painting and I was taking some stuff off the printer, and I was like, this is still only 20 minutes, Rob. Like, if you were going to build a box of minis, fuck. Like, that would take a while. Building, painting, and playing isn't the fun. Oh, wait. None of it's fun. None of it's fun. Yeah? Like, building might be the most fun part. Everything else isn't fun. It's work. And you get that shit done. Get it done. Get it on the tabletop. I'm sick of this. Get it done, lads. Ladies, folks, everyone. Forks Art. Love you being in the chat. Like, reminding me constantly. Many commission painters farm out. Yeah, I've read that. I think they should stop printing the printing of tiny bits and add them to the mini. Yes. Like, has anyone ever built a Necromunda gang? You have to stick the face on. I'm not into that. Just do a different face. In the spot where you've cut the face off, just sculpt another face. I don't want that. I don't know why Games Workshop don't have a fully assembled and painted service for those armies, and people just buy it like Change Host. Change Host, would you like to purchase? I don't know why shops don't have it. I don't know why shop doesn't have, shops don't have. I guess it's just easy. Like, I'm not saying running a shop is easy. I'm sure running a shop is very hard, etc., etc. My point is I don't know why someone doesn't be like, would you like to buy this box of minis? Yes. Would you like it pre-assembled? Yes. Do you want it pre-painted? Yes. And you literally just go through that process. But I guess that's what kind of commission painters already do. And like, they just kind of like, it's all like 3 different companies working at the same time. I think you could do it. I built 3 Mega Gargants last weekend. Talk about busy models. I ended up hacking things off to minimize the painting aggro. Agreed. The Warcry gang, Corvus Cabal, oh my god, what a nightmare kit to build. Gabawaki, I'm with you. Tristan wants all the many-faced ladies. That's fine. Just do the whole head as a piece. Just not... I don't want to have to stick a face on. It's too many bits. It's too many bits. Another tip for push fits is do not spray them before putting them together. Whoever does that? Whoever sprays their bits before putting them together? You build the whole model, you spray the whole model, then you try and paint. And if there's a bit you can't get to, that's life. You just deal with it, I think. The honest bit box. Oh, also, this is a UK-based question, but another question I wanted to ask all of you as well, because I thought this was kind of an interesting one. Does anyone... So one of the things that's quite cool about Adepticon, or it's kind of a famous thing about Adepticon, other than Terrible Tears, is they have this thing, like it's like a bring and buy sale, I guess is the right way to describe it. They have this store where people kind of rifle through loads of old bits. It's like a Bix box thing, sale kind of thing. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have like a car boot sale at your venue, but it's Warhammer stuff. So just only like a bring and buy or bring and swap Warhammer sale trade day. I thought that would be a cool idea. Like that would be really fun. Everyone just like kind of gets their tables, racks their stuff out, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'll give you 4 quid for some Phoenix guys. But like, yeah, actually, yeah, thanks, yeah, I'll take that. That sounds great. Like, I guess that's what eBay is, obviously, but just like in an in-person one after COVID, I thought that'd be a fun day. And like you turn up, really common at board game conventions. Okay, I've never been to one of those. That is interesting. Can't get over. I understand some of the assemblies. I do not understand painting on sprue. Never me either. Nick N painted a whole 40k army on sprues. It's clearly mental. We do that in Australia sometimes. They do bring and buy a Phoenix in Cumbria. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yes, the group I went to in Northern Ireland had that. Nice. UK Games Expo has a massive one organised. Warfare in Reading does this. Oh, okay. Loads of people does it. I love bits. Okay, that's really fun. Hawkeye, thanks for resubscribing. I didn't know it was already a thing. All right, well, that's cool. I might go to one. That sounds fun. Especially for like doing like just grubby deals. You know, you just turn up with some grubby deals. You're like, oh, I've got this. Do you want to trade for that? You got any thoughts? I think that would be fun. Just, I'd love to go Warhammer haggling, basically. Or even make a really terrible like BBC 3 series on it, where he's like, this is what he's traded for. And he's made over £4 from this trade. Hagglehammer, yeah. How the hell can you design a model with just a foot attached to a head that just supports, says K-Dread. I guess you're talking about the new Lumineth models, and I have no idea why. My first ever tournament was at Warfare 2018. Great event. Oh, okay. Okay. Like you replied to yourself there, Owen. I just want you to know that in the chat. On this Wargamer swap shop. I just thought it'd be fun. I just thought it'd be a fun day. Like, you know, everyone could kind of like go through all their boxes, clear them out. Like maybe something that you make really regular, and then people can kind of be like, look, I'm sat on a load of stuff. I'll take it down to the bring and buy, and then I'll see if I can't get rid of it, or trade up, or trade around, or kind of move. Because a lot of people like, you know, they've got half an army in a box, or they've got half of something stashed upstairs. And I know there's obviously like holding on to it and diamond hands in it to the Stonks Moon in the right situation. But I just thought it'd be cool. Next time an Extreme Hammer haggling, will Rod make it out alive? Honestly, I think that'd be so much fun. It'd be such a fun YouTube show. Just turning up. And also, it would be so fun to do coverage of. If you just turned up, you had like one desk, you had some commentators. It would be really funny. Johnny's come in. He's traded his entire Space Marine force for 3 Drukari bikes. Anyway, I just thought Stonk Sunday. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a live show on it, but I just thought it'd be a fun idea, which is what goes through my head a lot of the time. Little fun events. Also, I don't know why no one. I know how we go to events at the weekend for gaming. I don't know why anyone's never just organised a hobby weekend where everyone just hangs out. And now I know that there are people like Henry and the Court Paint who go around and they do those, like they do classes. But I don't know why someone hasn't just organised a look, we all need to get our shit done sort of event, and everyone just hangs out, you just rack out loads of tables. It feels like it's less effort than running an event. You rack out loads of tables, and everyone just hangs out for the weekend. Just, I mean, obviously this is all post-COVID and everything else. Like, everyone just, like, paints, like, someone brings, like, they, like, have bar staff, they bring you beers and food, you get kind of advice, and you just fucking paint away for the whole weekend. Everyone goes out that night, has a party. Fucking great idea. Fucking, look at me. Ideas for days. We used to make hobby evenings at my local store before lockdown. I'm talking about an event. Like, you go stay over. Yeah, it's like, I'm just going to have a weekend with the lads. I'm not going to game. I'm just going to get all my painting finished. That's my goal, which would be fun. And then maybe have, like, a prize. Do some prizes for people who've, like, I don't know, done really well that day. And then some prizes for people who've done medium well. I think maybe that's also half the battle sometimes with the painting. If you hang out with a group of people, I think that would make it, you'd get more done. You'd feel more motivated. But whatever. That sounds cool. When do we do it? Whenever. When are we doing it? Fuck. Someone else can organise it. Look, this is how the house is going, by the way. If you guys are interested. I'm doing an ivory with wood over the top. So, I don't know if anyone cares, but that's what I'm working on. That used to be Friday night before Heresy event. My old club had 8 people back to paint in 2 out of 3 colours needed for a 3K Imperial Fist army. It was glorious. Yes. You don't have to worry about getting 9 a.m. with a ridiculous hangover. Oh my god, that brings me on to my next point, Leo Crusher. Thanks. Sorry again. Do you know that sounds a way to get your terrain done? It does, but that's not the suggestion. Prize with people who hated every moment but just got through it. Gitly. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Someone who's just swearing, like, what's Jim doing on table 73? He's sworn for 4 hours. Fucking bitch, highlight this mother. Have a weekend, get people on each table and give prizes the best terrain and most terrain. Voila, all the terrain done. Yeah, that's an idea. That wasn't really my point. It was more for people's personal projects. I want people to, like, you know, like, normalize just getting their shit done, is the other one. The next point, because I am livid today. My next point is, and this is vital, can we normalise events starting later? Let's talk about this. Roll my sleeves up to halfway up my wrists. Why are we having events start at 8 or 9 a.m? What kind of sadists are making us get up that late? What's going on? Like, what? Hey, Warhammer Rob, hope you're well. What is happening where you somehow, by finishing at 6 o'clock, are having some sort of miraculous other life where, you know, like, a nice early dinner, and then, like, no. Let's start at 10. Yeah, like, it finishes late anyway. It already finishes late. There's no one who's, like, doing 3 games of Warhammer at a tournament and thinking, I've still got time to make it home, go for a run. Then I think I'll have a bath and maybe read a book for a bit. No one's doing that. That's not what's happening. Everyone is going to the hotel room, putting on some new clothes, having some food, maybe having some beers and going out partying, or having some beers and then going to sleep. That's the general gist from what I've seen. Yeah. Thank you to Zol. It's unfair that morning people have an extreme advantage in the first game. Also, really important point. Really really good point. I am willing to pretend that point is far more important than it is to make it so that events start later. Thanks, Ujion. The intern isn't here yet. I don't want to set an alarm in life unless someone is paying me to be awake. Scott B. Sing that from the rafters. Be the change you wish to see. I'm going to be. Don't worry. Start events early to let people watch the football. Don't care. I am here for this hot take. Early starts are the actual worst. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not saying 11 a.m., but 10 a.m. is super fine. Let's also talk about all the other problems. If it starts at 8 a.m., is there even a chance I'm having breakfast anywhere? Maybe not. Maybe I won't even get a coffee. However, 10 a.m., I can walk into your local coffee shop, or I can get myself a croissant. I can get a croissant or some baked goods, or whatever healthy or non-healthy breakfast starter you guys are having. I don't normally eat croissants, by the way. means you're forced to stay over. Early starts mean you can't drive up. Yeah, also good point, Scrivo. Early starts mean you can't drive up. 10 a.m, you could leave early from wherever you are, depending on, obviously, like, this really works in the UK. Obviously, in Australia, when you're driving like 43 hours to go to your local game store, or Texas or something, maybe it doesn't work. But you know what I'm saying. Not 9 a.m. You're disgusting, Tristan. That's what I'm telling you. Gross. 10 a.m. More civilized. Civilized is a good word for it as well. It's more civilized. Everyone's fresh. Everyone's like, oh, bonjour, ça va. Yeah, you have a late lunch, but that's fine. Yeah, I personally. So anyway, it's my hot take, and I'm going to talk about it more and more as time goes on. I don't understand it. It's also your weekend. You've been working hard all week, and now you want to graft in the morning when you're knackered from a week, and they're like, get up extra early. No wonder so many of us come back from tournament weekends not feeling very well. It's not tournament crud. It's just we've had another 2 days of getting up early. What, I can't have my Sunday morning lie-in. Also, imagine how much fun that makes the Saturday night. Go out with the lads, have a few beers, getting up so the tournament starts at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Ugh, but 10 a.m. Oh, no problem. Make that all day. I know, Owen. I know it starts. I know it starts on 8. This isn't a dig at TTS in no way, by the way. This is a dig at real world events. I want you to be 100% conscious of that. Down with the tyranny of morning people. Thank you. As a nightclub DJ, I know I may have mentioned it one time. Like, it used to horrify me when before I got into doing it for work and everything else. Like, you know, Nathan would be like, oh, there's an event this weekend, let's go. And I'd be like, time is like, what time am I going to get up in the morning? He'd be like, well, it starts at like 8:30 or 9, so we're going to have to get there for 8, which means we have to get up at 7, which means we've got to leave at whenever. And I was like, what? So the middle of the night. The middle of the night. I wouldn't go to bed till 4 a.m. When we get up 3 hours later, play Warhammer. Don't be mental. Breakfast with your tournament. Oh, Hawkeye. Yeah, imagine you went to a place. Hey, by the way, everyone checks in at 8:30. Yeah, but don't worry, everyone. 9 a.m, breakfast is on us. Or you can pay for breakfast at the venue. Any of that. Imagine that. Bit more money for the venue. Anyway, maybe go to bed earlier. Says you. What time were you playing till Warhammer till last night, eh? That's my question. That's my question. Builders are the worst morning people. They are. They're so happy at like fucking 3 a.m. Sitting here feeling attacked. I start work between 5 and 6 a.m. So 8 to 9 is like halfway through my day. I get that everyone's on different time frames. I really do, Coraldron. I do. I promise. Chris in the chat. Yes, Chris. I haven't seen you in ages. Big love to you. I hope you're well. Early Sunday starts are surely even worse in England since nothing is bloody open yet. Scott, yes, that's true. Blood Tithe was great in a hotel a couple of years ago. Gaming in your slippers. Yeah, agreed. I'm just saying. The only negative, and therefore the only positive to an early start, is parking. Because when you get there that early, you can park anywhere you like. Oh, you become a dad. Chris, congratulations to Chris in the chat. A Sylvaneth player. This is what happens when your army book isn't good enough. You just think, well, what else am I going to do with my time? And so you become a dad. Well done to Chris. I'm a Good Demon Honest says, app to order food, drinks to your table is 100% a thing that should occur. Like in gaming tournaments, that should be a thing. I mean, the nice thing Warhammer World does is they normally, when it's super busy, they have someone come over to your table and take some orders, which I think is quite nice. But I still don't think it's a very nice environment to play Warhammer in. It's quite cramped. It's quite busy. I don't think it's like very conducive to playing particularly well. But it's still a nice feature that they have. Really nice feature. I really like it. Sylvaneth Spreading Seas, let's go. I do miss going to tournaments. Not long, Kitsune Adventures. Not long. Sometime in probably the next year, you'll probably be able to go to an event fairly safely, which I think is really nice. To be fair, the partner did the hard work. His partner did do the hard work. I'm not. His partner isn't here though, so I can't compliment her. So instead, I'm having fun with Chris. Can I? Warhammer World is the least COVID compliant place to play Warhammer in the UK. Agreed. It's cheek to ass. Although obviously that was previous to. I'm sure they've put some emplacements and restrictions in place post COVID world. But yeah, I mean, the heat management in there, it's either 1 billion degrees or it's really cold. So anyway. AOS events, yes, I'm still not fond of 40k events. You'll get there, Kitsune Adventures. I think that there's going to be some fun 40k events around. Ace is doing one, but that's sold out already. That's the problem, they all sell out, right? I've got 5 months pregnant wife, says Jog PLC. Congrats, Jogs! I guarantee that I am doing the hard work. Hey, she's not here to defend herself, so we'll say nothing is what we'll do. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's played Warhammer World, but it's pretty rough. Where is everyone's favourite place to play Warhammer? That's my question. I want to hear some positives. Do me some shout-outs. Where has been your favourite place to play Warhammer? And you can throw some reasons in as well, because that works. Or where is your favourite place to play Warhammer? I guess is the real question. Mine is in my head while sat on my back, having done many a narcotic to deal with my anxiety. I don't have anxiety. Or maybe I do, but I don't know. And then that's how I do it. That's my way. The moon in my mum's basement. In my head. The beach. Falcon 40k, the beach. You think there's no beach near you? Is there a beach near you? Surely not. I want to see some barefooted 3/4 length trouser Falcon resting in a an African safari-esque white cotton outfit playing 40k on a beach. Otherwise, my local's garage. The hand dryers at the Justice Series are really nice. TTS laptop in bed with a coffee. I mean, you can't really argue with TTS. So comfortable, right? Bad Moon Cafe, great peeps, great venue, great coffee. My friend's garage, since that awesome Kill Team board is there. Nice. On the mothership. What? My dining room table, says Salt and Sassy, comes with great coffee, nobody tell me how to play, and food can be delivered to the front door. That works. Closest beach is 5 hours away. The closest beach to me is about... How far is Skegness? About 3 or 4 hours away, Falcon, because I'm landlocked. Nick Hohen's garage. Nice. Oh, I miss Nick Hohen. Such a lovely bloke. Warhammer World, where I was one of the first people in my group to use a dead Demon Prince of Nurgle with a glittering shield, so everyone needed 6s to hit or 7s back in 8th ed. Well, that's nice of you. Yeah, show me some beach hammer, that'd be good. Worst place was Sanctuary in the Freezing Church, says Leo Crusher, but they've got a new venue now. Question, when Warhammer TV starts streaming the games again, do you think this gives community a good gauge of amount of terrain needed for 40k? No. In no way are they in any way tethered to reality. It would be my way of describing it. Maybe the events, but still probably no. Because their terrain that they would stream from events during 8th edition were in no way relatable to competitive 40k. I think even Falcon in the chat didn't even... I don't know if he took the stats. I'm not really even sure, but like generally, big nose on that one. A massive hall with shitty aircon in the middle of Aussie summer. It's my favourite too, but mainly because I get to see loads of top people. So like that's quite a good one. Let's be real. And then and then there's also that Saturday night out at Mooseheads. Is it Mooseheads? I'm going out next year. That's my plan. 2022. Stats of... Did you take the Warhammer World Heat event stats in? Or did you pass them out from other, 40k stats? Because I think that's interesting. And also, what are you doing up? It's so early. You think 40k at Warhammer World was bad terrain? For Titanicus, we had nothing. What, no terrain? Do you need terrain for Titanicus? I don't know this. So if I've got that wrong, I'm sorry. I'm a narrative painter. What is the game you speak of? Nothing useful for us. Me and my mates regularly play 3v3 games, and those are my favourites, as it's a bunch of mates drinking and having a good laugh. They sound really fun. I'm a good demon honest. Genuine consideration. How are the local boozers? Are you talking about Nottingham? Because a little interesting side note. Nottingham has the most licensed venues. I think this is still true. It might not be true, but at one point it had the most licensed venues per square mile in the city centre than anywhere else in Europe. But that might have changed. But that was at one point. So we have loads of great boozers in Nottingham. Loads of terrible boozers as well. But because we got loads, some of them are really class. And please, no one mention Pitching Piano, because that is not Pitching Piano. Sorry. Oh God, what is that one called? The Goth Bar is terrible. Anyway, Knott's pretty good for a night out. There's tons of students. Yeah, there are tons of students, but like they won't really go out on the weekend. Nottingham people generally, it's a great city. It's got a huge music scene. There's loads of amazing bars, loads of amazing kind of like live venue places. It's a really, really nice place to go out on a night out. So I'm super fortunate that we're here. Nothing's wrong with Pitch and Piano. Nothing's wrong with Pitch and Piano. I meant Pit and Pendulum. People come to Nottingham and they love Pit and Pendulum, and it's the worst. It's the worst. It's a pub, basically, it exemplified by being an Evanescence front cover. More bow crime than a DOK list. There's like some moderate bow crime, but like generally, I've never had any issues on a night out in Nottingham. But then I am a huge 6'2" like fella. So huge is a bit much. All right, calm down, Rob. Huge, flex it a little bit. Not huge. I am 6'2" and normally don't have many issues. Just like such a twat. I apologise to everyone in the chat for even talking at that point. Lanky is a better word. Thank you. And yes, Chris, you're taller than me. Yeah, thank you. Lanky, you mean? Yeah. Did you get pepper sprayed? I did. It was Nathan's fault that I got pepper sprayed. That's the problem. I'm sure I heard once you used to work. Oh, for God's sakes, I'm not talking to any of you. This is where I'm at with this forest mushroom thing. I don't know what you guys think of that. I think it looks quite nice. Good start, eh? That's nice. Can't wait for people to rock up at 10 a.m. to play on this board. They'll be like, oh, this is perfect. I'm so rested. Can't wait to play some quality Warhammer right now. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to this. It's looking nice. Has anyone got any questions? Anything they want to bring up? I know Smorgs, if he's still in the chat, was a little bit gutted that the Underworld Warband didn't get a War Scroll this time around, especially after the predictions of the quality of the Shadow Stonkers last time around, because they got touted as being very good, and they are. They made it into the list. Played by Alex yesterday. On doing all the coverage. An amazing day of coverage. Super fun. It was actually really fun just watching one army make it through to the final. I thought that was quite like an interesting way of doing it. I don't know if I've ever done that. Followed one army through a whole kind of game and a tournament, and focused on it. So that was really, really fun. Super fun. Just call it quality hammer. Yeah. What the fuck? I'm hoping it's just a timing thing. What's happened? Yeah. So yeah, it's not come out yet. That's true. Finish up the last two touches of my 2 Dreadclaws, says Coloru. How is it that I can be motivated to paint massive drop pods but not 2 little dudes? I think because the paneling is easier. Like I know for a fact right now I'm just doing the grunt work of just barely focusing and just wanging this kind of colour on it. But when it gets to doing the very detailed work, it's nightmarish. I've got to do all these little mushrooms, and honestly, not sure. Not sure I'm gonna. Didn't someone pay you to stream all their games once? No. Someone could in the future. I think that's probably something that we'll set up so that someone can. But no one's ever paid me to stream all their games. That'd be a fun little like additional feature to add on to some stuff. That's what I'm doing, Corbin. Yeah. That's right. Bloodstalkers are fine at 140 if they don't shoot twice a turn. But then that's the really awkward thing about Bloodstalkers in that Daughters of Cain list is: are you going to point them knowing that they can shoot twice? Because as soon as you do that, you're pointing them that Marathi is always in the list. I don't think fight twice, shoot twice should probably be in any game, if I'm honest. Because it just fucks with the math way too much. Way too much. And it makes it harder and harder to point the actual units. Especially when you've got like the ability to soup in Age of Sigmar quite so effectively in loads of different ways. So I don't think you should really see them. or should see the ability to do so. I just think it's too strong, because really you're just because like there's loads to talk about, and I've talked about it in detail before, but I don't think it's, and I could go into detail now, but I just don't want it. I just think it's too good, and I think it's an ability that they don't really understand its strengths and weaknesses in a load of different ways, but specifically its strengths, the ability to use X amount 100 points again and again. It just seems mental. Like Archeon fighting twice is a really good example. You're using 1,600 points of combat in one place. I don't know, you're not just playing for his combat ability, but it's crazy. Or the snakes. Snakes are a good example. You basically pay 420 points for 15 snakes, and then you shoot them for 1 CP. And so for 1 CP, you've actually generated, or you've summoned. Imagine if I rewrote the rule as, for 1 CP, summon a 420 point unit that shoots that turn. You would be like, that's insane. Like, when you wrote it like that, you'd be like, that's mental. Like, that would be, like, that's the way, like, if you wrote it like that, I think that would, people would be like, okay, yeah, that's way over the top. So I don't think that should be in the game. Agency Mar or 40k, actually. I don't think any of it should be. I think it would make it easier to balance point stuff, to be honest, because then it's not one of the considerations you have to make. So I quite like, if I'm honest with you all, I really like just all of the goodness being in the War Scroll, and I can see sub-factions being really useful as a way to make those War Scrolls like a little bit more valuable, and that being in the game as well, and that being true again for both game systems. And then beyond that, I'm good. Like, psychic powers are cool. Like, spells are cool. I'd have them in there because there's some give and take. I cast a spell, you cast a spell. And then apart from that, I think I don't want any more overlapping rules, to be honest. Sergeant Rolf, Rob, working on some alternative for crates terrain. Should they be scalable? No. Crates are impossible. So no, Sergeant Rolf, they should not. Putting the ability maybe on a 4 up when it's still using command point would be a way I adjust it, says Tristan. That seems fair. Everyone loves the new, but they really need to flesh out some of the armies before they release new ones, says Jug PLC. I think it's a super fair point, especially coming back to some armies as well. I think 40k is in a much more desperate place for that to happen than Age of Sigmar. I mean, some of their flagship ranges are so old, which is super weird. And also, they should just stop selling all Finecast models. They should update them. Of course, I don't want people to lose out on models that they love or ranges that they love, but they should just stop selling them, man. Like, it's just bang out of order. Like it's genuinely like bad. The Pepper Spray story was like a police officer asking Nathan to guess the points correctly, or he will spray. The Pepper Spray story is a funny story. It was not Nathan's fault at all. He was just near a riot, and then a policeman got scared, and then pepper sprayed him. It's not funny. And then we tried to clean his eye out, and we got water on. I got water on my face a tiny, tiny bit, and I was like, "I've been pepper sprayed too," which is the great story. So that's how it continues. But I might make up a reason why he got pepper sprayed in the future. Much like the overall game, state of the economy of spending 1 CP on ability is wildly different across the armies. Agreed, Owen. Agreed. So, yeah. And I mean, it's a bit of a holdover, really. I think that they see CP usage, but in both game systems, as giving tools to the players to play. They're like, you can decide to do this. You can decide to use a command ability. You can decide to do this. But, maybe not a but. However, that pigeonholes how you definitely are going to play and what you definitely are going to do. So I'm not certain. It's really great. I quite like spells. I like spells as a medium. I think that's a really fun kind of way. Like, I know obviously with pluses to cast and automatic spell cast and all that other stuff, but it's like I roll to cast a spell. You try and stop me. Okay, that's super fun. I wouldn't have them be like super powerful, but some of them like where they're like run and charge or something where it gives you some more options. I quite like that. That's really fun. Question for AOS 3. Should summoning be standardized across all applicable armies to just once a turn? Yes. I agree. Should sub-faction battalion be free by point or by point buy-in? Sub-faction battalions? Or do you just mean sub-factions? Should sub-factions be pointed? At one point I would have said yes. However, the reason I say maybe not now is because I would like them to explore that area, that kind of design space, and just make sub-factions that make your collection more diverse. That's what I really, really want. Like, I want you to play your new Lumineth Realm Lords army. I want you to be like, oh, I'm really hyped about this. But if I play it in this army, I can run and charge. And this army, I could do that. I feel that they did that best with OCRs. I'm not saying that they nailed it with OCRs, but they gave you options with OCRs. And I was like, loved it. Chef's kiss all day. Yeah, really happy with that. I thought that they did that really well. And I think I would like to see a little bit more of that. I've got a Land Raider I rescued from eBay, says Collaroo, but the paint job is atrocious. Is even worth the effort to respray it, or are they gashed? They're rubbish, if that helps you out. Yeah, they're rubbish. You know you get wrong. Rumineth. Also, the distribution and command abilities across some heroes and not on others is kind of random, e.g. Owen's Beast of Chaos Army has none. For people referencing that at home, that would be in our tournament. Yeah, I think the command abilities where they are and on different models is kind of weird, I guess. And kind of, I don't know, it adds flavour to the army. I always liked it when you had like one general with one command ability, like this is how my army plays, but like it makes it a bit static, I guess. What's really cool about both game systems is you've still got so many ways that they could either take some of the horses they've let out the fence, which they're not going to do, or add some more, and you've got a really solid set of games. I just really like core rules, and then your war scroll changes the core rules. Like, I now can run and charge. Like, it's just that simple. Just that simpleness to it means you can just really design. It makes the war scrolls more entertaining and more fun. It makes them like far more interesting, and like I think you add character to the models that you collect, which is awesome because we like models. And then you're like, oh, these guys can do this and they can do that. And you're like the Yetis yesterday, they were running and charging and they're piling away from 6, and that was awesome. Like, they just had all this stuff that they were -1 to hit in combat. Like, the -1 to hit in combat, even because they were like cold and snowy, like tells a story. And I think that's the beauty. You're like, I'm going to tell a story with this unit, and you like plug it on. I think it's such a cool way to build a game system. Like, I really, really like it. Sub-faction stuff on top, I think, is a way to make it so that you move that around a little bit. But I wouldn't do any more than that. I think that's fine. I think that they should 100% only let the same guy write rules, is what I'm saying. And then they should have someone edit his stuff. I'd say that all day. Yeah. Anyway. But, if there's a takeaway from this stream, 10 a.m. starts. That's what we're doing. 10 a.m. starts, and then events where it's just hanging out with your mates. That's what I'm saying. Enjoyed watching the Yeti army yesterday. Me too. It was a great army, and thanks for Stuart and all of his opponents for playing it and giving us a super entertaining day of Warhammer. I'm going to ask him to come on the stream one day this week and talk about it and see if he's free. We did also learn that I'm swole, but that's a whole different conversation. Swollen around the middle, that's what I am after lockdown. Are the games going up on YouTube? They should be. I'll speak to John about that today. That'll be one of the things. It won't take very long, and then they'll be up on YouTube. So ASAP, so you guys can watch them back. You can watch them back now as a VOD on Twitch immediately, but then I'll get them put on YouTube today, so you guys can check them out. Thanks, John. He's in the chat. There we go. Right, that is me done for the day. It's not that I'm going to stop painting, but I worry that I'm not going to have anything more interesting to say for several more hours, so that I will be doing it. So here we go. And mainly, like, once we get past this bit, when I get into detail work, I have to like put my tongue out, not fork on painting. So that's rubbish for everyone. However, 2 shows tomorrow. On a scale of iron guts to bloodthirst, how swallow you're on. I am a sneaky snuffler level of swole, so leave me alone, Mr. Tiga, you gorgeous fella. I am going to be back tomorrow with Owen Jackson on the Age Sigmar Stats Center. We may well have more stats. I think we've developed some more stats to plug into the stats system, so that's going to be fun to have a look at. Tomorrow night, me and the guys are going to be going through some Age Sigmar stuff, which is going to be really, really fun. And then another week. Don't forget, next weekend, a live weekend of coverage from Hammer Time 8. So it's going to be why bother with the stats? It's the better. I agree. So that'll be really fun. Thanks for joining me today, and thanks for joining me any day. You guys are great. Whether or not you listen to the podcast or whether or not you join in live, it's really nice that you're here. I love hanging out with you. We talk about some great stuff. You're brilliant people. So thanks. And then thanks to everyone on Patreon and all that other jazz. You guys are great. Talk to you. Oh, and it's also Scriver's birthday next week. They're lovely. Right. So everyone, look after yourselves. Thanks very much. See you soon. Oh. Almost forgot to do a raid. I'm not going to forget. Not today. Not today. What do we say to the god of raids? Today. That's what we say. Let's go raid someone Warhammery, because that's nice. And I quite like it. Wow. This guy's painting a Stormcast really well. Let's go raid that guy. Hang out and hobby. Never ever. No one wants that in their lives. So we'll go raid. Who should we raid? Oh, there's a lady. Let's raid a lady. Test 3 Warhammer scenery painting. Oh, I couldn't feel that. Let's go. Get them toughs. That's what we'll do. Get them toughs. Raid for the toughs, lads. You guys are great. Talk to you soon.